ZiyahHarris, who was 13 at the time, was last seen getting off her school bus on January the 9th, 2024. A student at J.E. Clark Preparatory Academy, she never made it home that day. On August 15th, Detroit police submitted a warrant request, with local media speculating that they believe they gathered enough evidence to charge someone in connection with her disappearance. Harris is described as 5 foot 2 inches and weighing 130 pounds. She was last seen wearing a light blue jean shirt, light blue jean pants, a pink and white Rugrats coat with a fur collar, and blue and white Nike gym shoes. Ziyah got off the school bus in the area of Cornwall Street in 3 Mile, which is near the intersection of Warren Avenue and Outer Drive on Detroit's east side. Ziyah's grandmother said she started to get concerned when she learned that she didn't come home that night, but she wanted to wait until the morning of January the 10th to report her missing to the authorities. According to Detroit prosecutors, a predatory slimeball by the name of Jarvis Butts, who's the boyfriend of Ziyah's aunt Shannon, was set to turn himself into police the same day that Ziyah went missing on gun charges. However, it was pushed back. On the day that Ziyah went missing, there's heavy speculation that Ziyah and Jarvis met up and went to a Ypsilanti, Michigan motel before returning back to Detroit. My question is, did she return back to Detroit? According to Ziyah's aunt Shannon, Jarvis had met Ziyah when she was just 2 years old. Now, a family member called into a podcast to expose Shannon. Check out what the family member had to say about the situation, and then check out Shannon's response.
The one that is her baby daddy that she bought around, that she had around Ziyah and all them other kids that's over there. When we found out that he was, that's when we put it on blast. When we found out that he was approaching them kids, we put it on blast. We told them to go to the police.
Whatever Jarvis did, that was him, not on me, at all. At all. And yes, that might be my child's father. Yes, I do got 5 kids. Yes, my youngest is 1. Damn sure not desperate.
Apparently, this man has had a history of this. Like, so did you know about him being on the sex or, you know, any kind of activity about that? Like, had you even heard of anything like that before out of him?
When I met him, when I was 19, he did tell me his background. He did tell me his background. He gave me the decision. If I wanted to pursue a relationship.
So, given that his background was child, right, and you still made the decision to talk to him?
1, I was 19, and 2, if society can give you a second chance, why can't someone else give you a second chance as well?
Authorities believe that Jarvis had been essaying Ziyah since 2022 before deleting her in January of 2024. Back in 2005, Jarvis was charged and convicted of essaying 2 other young girls. One of them was 4 + 4 and the other one was 2 + 2. Now, sadly enough, the one that was 2 + 2 ended up catching Clatricia from Jarvis. And just so you know, I'm paraphrasing here, I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out what I'm talking about. Jarvis was charged on September the 27th, 2024 as a habitual 4-time offender. He was also charged with first-degree premeditated deletion, also essay, and second-degree criminal conduct with a person under 8 + 5.
And I hope they give you 2 life sentences.
The text messages that were uncovered between Jarvis and Ziyah were heartbreaking and horrific. Jarvis knew that Ziyah was expecting as well. Here are some of the text messages that were exchanged between the two. On September the 27th, Ziyah says, "Come on." Then she asks, "You okay?" Then she asks, "What are we doing at your choice?" Then Jarvis responds and says, "You tell me." Ziyah says, "Basement." Ziyah says, "You sure?" Ziyah says, "Or job." Then Jarvis says, "Can you come and give me sloppy toppy?" I'm paraphrasing there. And then Jarvis says, "And make sure you erase the messages." And then Ziyah says, "K, that is what I plan to do." Then on June 5th, 2022, Jarvis says, "I'm at your house." Ziyah responds and says, "Damn, we were just there." Then Ziyah says, "You better not be in my room." Then Ziyah says, "I need another phone." Then Ziyah says, "I miss you." And then Jarvis says, "I stole your undies," and I'm paraphrasing there. Then on June 24th, 2023, Jarvis says, or asks rather, send me some pictures, please. Then Naziyah says, don't you still got the other pics? Then Jarvis says no. Then Naziyah says, I will send some. On June 7th, 2023, Jarvis asks Naziyah, are you unclothed? I'm paraphrasing there. I'm going to paraphrase a lot. And then Naziyah responds and says, no, get unclothed. And then Naziyah says, are you mad that I didn't get unclothed? Then Jarvis says, I'm used to you telling me no. Then Naziyah responds and says, come on, babe, I'm sorry, just not in the mood right now, I'm sorry. Then on September the 26th, 2023, it says, babe, you up? Then 3 question marks were sent. Then it says, yeah. Then it says, my monthly haven't came on at all. Then it says, hello, you there? And then Jarvis responds and says, what do you mean? Then Naziyah responds and says, it have not came. It seems that everyone around Naziyah failed her. From her aunts, to her own mother, to her grandmother, to her father. They all neglected this girl. She was mentally in prison, physically taken advantage of, and deprived from food. As you can see in the photo here, that the refrigerator has been locked up with chains and padlock. Now, another interesting thing that I find about this case is the fact that the day after Naziyah went missing, she was marked present in school.
As part of your, if you are going to be a substitute teacher, do you have to take attendance for class?
Yes.
And did you do that on January 9th?
Yes.
And is there a form that you fill out or handwrite in for taking attendance?
Yes, this is one.
May I approach, Judge?
Yes.
I'm approaching with what's been marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 31. Hoping you were counting it this way. Do you recognize that document, Ms. Lee?
Yes.
And is that an attendance document from
Yes.
J.D. Clark?
Yes.
And is that for Naziyah's classes?
Yes.
And does that include the dates from the 8th to the 12th of January 2024?
Yes.
Move to admit People's Proposed 31.
Any objection? No objection. It will be admitted as People's Exhibit 31.
And on that document, does it say that Naziyah was present on January 9th?
Yes.
And how is that noted on that form?
A P.
Okay, and that stands for present?
Yes.
And does it say she was present on the 10th?
Yes.
It does say she was present.
Yes.
Was, to your knowledge, she present on the 10th?
No.
How do you know that?
Because me and Larry are together every day. She comes to my room to get snacks, and she was not there on the 10th.
So you're 100%?
I'm 100% sure.
Now, things are not going so well for Naziyah's Aunt Shannon nor her grandmother. Naziyah's Aunt Shannon was questioned by Roxy, and also her grandmother is getting harassed in the streets just by regular people that are worried and concerned about where Naziyah is. I want you guys to check out these clips, and I'll be back.
Keep saying that she's still alive. I don't know, is she?
Do you think she is?
Last time you was.
I mean, do you think she is?
I don't know. Nobody.
You said last
So
time.
have you
what?
had a
Last time you had a conversation.
This is my one question. From the ninth. No, just let me. So one, when they said when your mother asked you was she there, my first place I would have went was to the shop, because that's where y'all let her go. That's my first calling him. Asking him, my first place was going to listen, because I got a search.
This is what one question. This one question I want to ask.
Wait
From the ninth.
a minute.
From the ninth. Okay,
We're not gonna be able to have a conversation, y'all.
I didn't even ask.
Just say, excuse me.
That was, no. That's not how it went. At all. This is when I found out I was pregnant. I took a pregnancy test and I asked her how long I'm pregnant. I said it's C2 lines, but one is fake. So she should be here. So I said, I'm the pregnancy test. And everything. This is weird. Janine, I don't want to be recorded.
What's up?
You already asked me questions,
No, I
answered it.
I got more questions, so come on.
No.
Come on here and talk. What's the point of answering the questions right here?
What in the questions? I don't gotta answer nobody questions, my dog.
You just said you wanted to.
Who? You did?
retarded?
Here we go.
You are
So I'm saying you was the last one to see her alive, right?
Yeah, before school.
Before school. So what happened?
I told y'all that.
So what happened after school though?
You figure it out. Y'all got everything right. Yeah.
Video report. Everything.
The people of the public wants to know where Naziah is. Are y'all gonna tell us? Or y'all gonna stop playing games? Huh? How you miss your baby? You don't miss your grandbaby? Huh? You don't care about your grandbaby? Hello? Here, take some cheese balls with your burger ass. Use a burger.
ZiyahHarris's father, Mervyn Jennings, passed away this summer.
Literally died of a broken heart. Unfortunately, he had congestive heart failure. He's already sick and got sicker going out looking for her.
I got a chance to interview her father back in March doing an exhaustive search for her in the Rouge River. And, he said he was out there every day searching for her to find out then that he has passed away before he was able to find out this.
It's to my understanding that Naziah's father basically neglected Naziah. He had a baby on his wife and he tried to keep it hush as long as he could. The fact that he cheated on his woman, let alone had a baby on her. And of course, when his wife found out, she really didn't want anything to do with Naziah. So Naziah's father paid child support, tried to buy her things that she wanted, but she could not come and live in the home that he shared with his wife. Naziah's father knew the living conditions that his daughter was living in. That was a filthy house, if we're going to be honest about it. And also the aunt was on DRUGS, and there was just so many other things that Naziah shouldn't have been exposed to given her age. She was failed miserably. Now, another thing that's extremely sick about this entire situation, I don't know if you guys are privy to it, but Jarvis Butt had a fan page on TikTok. I want you guys to check this out and I'll be back.
I know you lying, y'all. This is crazy. So I was just scrolling on my FYP and I came across this account here on TikTok of Jarvis saying free Jarvis. If you don't know who Jarvis Butts is, y'all, he is the man who allegedly unalived ZiyahHarris and definitely has something to do with her disappearance. Like this is crazy. Like there's a whole fan account made of this person. I wonder if this is him from inside of prison or one of the baby mamas. This is the account right here. It's free Jarvis 37, face reveal later. And it's literally dedicated to a y'all, this is scary. And the fact that TikTok is allowing this on their platform is even crazier. Go to this page and please report it. This is disgusting. Justice for ZiyahHarris. The fact that that phone call was released yesterday or leaked yesterday makes me feel like this is probably one of the baby mamas or maybe him inside of prison, inside of jail. I'm not sure how he even got access to TikTok, but this is crazy, y'all. Report this account.
Good intel to tell me that he was, recently stomped out real bad, which caused them to put him on the pod with the idol inmates. What's going on, Carla?
Now, there's also a rumor that's circulating in the jail that Jarvis is housed in that he's been on record saying that he is not responsible for deleting Naziah. He's blaming it all on Shannon. Now, what I'm about to say, I don't know this to be the case, so I'm going to say that this is all alleged. I feel like that the moment that Shannon found out that Naziah was pregnant by her man, she took it out on Naziah instead of taking it out on her man. A woman's intuition is undefeated in my estimation, and there's no way in the hell that I feel that Shannon didn't suspect that something was going on between Naziah and Jarvis before she got pregnant. I also suspect that there was a lot of jealousy. I feel that Shannon was jealous of Naziah, her twin sister was jealous, the grandmother, the mother, and everybody else. All the females, I believe, was jealous of Naziah because, let's make no mistake about it, when you look at Naziah and you look at the rest of them, they knew that Naziah was going to grow up to be a better looking woman than they are. And in my estimation, that's why they constantly try to tear her down, talking about her hair was nappy and things of that nature. And it's just a shame that this young girl had to go through this. But anyway, what I want to do right now is play you guys this final clip, and I suggest you stick around because it's very informative as it pertains to this case. Check it out.
What's up, everybody? All right, you guys. So as you know, we have been working on the case of ZiyahHarris. Now, a lot of people feel like Jarvis is not the only person that should be facing charges. And the reason being is because it feels like a lot of people knew more, but they're trying to make it seem like they knew nothing. So the first thing we're going to point out is Neziah was last seen on January 9th. We saw the surveillance of her getting off the bus and walking. Listen to what her grandmother had to say.
For her to be late, she has never been late coming home. She's always got permission to do things.
Annette Harris is 13-year-old Neziah Harris's grandmother and legal guardian. When was the last time that you heard from your granddaughter?
When I dropped her off at school, which was on January the 9th.
Neziah is an 8th grader at Clark Elementary School in Detroit, described as being incredibly sweet and a rule follower.
So she made it a point to say that Neziah always asked her for permission. She also described Neziah as a rule follower. So if you're saying that you noticed immediately that Neziah did not get off that bus
and come home from school on January 9th, she knew immediately something was wrong.
But Annette did not report her missing till that next day. Now listen to what one of the school officers had to say.
After reading the report. After the report, I canvassed the area looking for this young lady, although she was gone for at least 24 hours because she was missing the day before. Then from that point, we didn't find anything, so I followed the bus number that she was on. I got the video, and it showed where she got off the bus at 3 miles.
Said Cornwell and 3 miles?
Cornwell, 3 miles.
So you have a child who sticks to routine. She follows your rules. She doesn't do anything without asking you. And she does not come home from school, but you don't go to the school to that next day and tell them that she's missing. So Neziah got off the bus at Cornwall and 3 Mile. This has been proven. There is surveillance showing her getting off that bus. And this is what the grandmother said another child told her.
The bus with her schoolmate and walked up to the corner of Warren and 3 Mile Drive. And one of the school kids said that she turned right instead of turning.
So you can see where it says Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive right here. Now Neziah would have went up and took East Warren going towards AutoZone. Now the reason why we know she went up and went right is because the grandmother said that that child also said that. And like I said before, AutoZone is also to the right. Now I have to point out the fact that Jarvis and King were at AutoZone. They went to get parts, and King is saying that they were on their way back to the shop, but they end up turning around because they forgot something. Now, is it odd that Neziah went straight to that corner, hit that right, knowing it was going towards AutoZone? So she had to have known that she was meeting Jarvis in that area. So another thing I want to point out is, look at the bottom. You see Cornwall and you see 3 Mile. Now, if Neziah had went left, she would have went straight to Bedford and went home. But instead, Neziah went straight down 3 Mile Drive and hit a right going on Warren Avenue. But I'm just trying to point out to you guys how close Jarvis was when he picked her up. Now, y'all, the reason why I'm pointing all of this out is because I feel like if you knew for a fact that your granddaughter always followed routine, and you're saying that you figured out immediately that she did not get off that bus, not only did she have to walk a good ways to Harper just to meet Jarvis, she then got into his vehicle and went all the way back to his shop. Now, these are hours and hours going by of nobody saying, hey, let's go out there and look for Neziah. It literally makes no sense. If you have a 13-year-old child, because I have one, if my child gets off the bus and he's not home immediately, I'm calling his phone or I'm texting him saying, hey, where are you? Y'all, they had to have known that something was going on. It's no way they didn't know. I just find it extremely odd for you to report her missing that next day. It just, y'all, it don't sit right with me. Now, another thing I want to point out is the messages that Shannon found in that tablet. Now, as we know, Neziah was missing. The police, they wanted the tablet in order to go through it. So Shannon plugged the tablet up, and when she plugged the tablet up, she went through Neziah's Instagram. So after going through that Instagram, she found messages between Jarvis and Neziah.
When I see no messages, I called him and Jarvis Butts. Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages?
So Shannon claims that the messages were not bad in nature, and she claims that she couldn't see the pictures that were actually sent, which I found hard to believe because every message that Neziah and Jarvis sent, all of them was bad in nature. And for you to immediately call him and be like, hey, what is this? What's going on? The messages had to have said something. Now, this is what bothers me. Neziah had been missing since January 9th. King is saying that they picked Neziah up. Jarvis' sister is saying that Naziah was at the shop. Shannon is saying that she saw messages. Nobody thought for 1 second that Jarvis was the one responsible. Nobody thought for 1 second to go to the police anonymously and say, hey, I don't know if this is that 13-year-old that's missing, but I saw this person at the shop. Even down to Shannon, she knew Jarvis's history. Listen to what Shannon said in the interview.
He was 19. He did tell me his background. He did tell me his background. He gave me the decision if I wanted to pursue a relationship.
So given that his background was his background was right, and you still made a decision to talk to him?
One, I was 19, and two, if society can give you a second chance, why can't someone else?
So y'all, it bothers me when I hear the theory going around that Shannon was also a victim. She literally said, I was 19 when I met him. He told me his background. He told me what he was convicted of. He told me he was on the offenders list. And he gave me the opportunity to not mess with him. But instead, I chose to mess with him because if the state can give you a second chance, why can't I? Now, y'all, when he went to jail for Naziah's case, he was considered a 4th-time habitual offender. Meaning before Naziah, he had been caught doing this 3 times already. So the fact that Annette is saying, oh, I had no idea. The fact that Shannon is saying, oh, I had no idea. He's never been inside of my home. When he literally told police the last time he saw Naziah was in December when she was at the home getting her hair braided. So Annette saying that he never comes in her home is a bold-faced lie. Now, another thing I have to point out is when Naziah first went missing, they searched this pond. Now, I want to show you how close this pond is to Shannon's old address. It is literally only 4 minutes away. What drove police to that pond? And does that have anything to do with where Shannon used to live? Now, y'all, as we know, the trial will be coming up in March, I think. And I honestly feel like more people need to be charged. If they can't be charged with her unaliving, which I think they should, at least charge them with negligence. The case literally makes no sense. Everybody on social media is putting this together. And you mean to tell me the aunt and the grandma didn't see this and we all see this from the outside looking in? Now, y'all, comment below and let me know your thoughts on this case. I will be keeping you guys updated.
All right, so you guys just heard all of that. Now, in my opinion, my honest opinion, I feel like everybody needs to be held without bond. That's Shannon, her sister, and the grandmother. I'm just keeping it real until someone decides to come forward, because I believe Shannon knows and Jarvis knows exactly what happened to ZiyahHarris. But anyway, I'm gonna let this go right here. I want you guys to drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this whole entire situation. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.